Welcome everyone to the very first episode of Downtime Cosplay. I guess you can tell I'm super excited to actually finally be able to kick off this project, which I've been talking about a very long time. So here we are. I am GRIMALKIN and I've actually been cosplaying for 10 years now. So I figured, why not just share everything I know and see what you guys can create, right? To start out, I will show you how I styled the wig for this character, Yumeko Jabami from Kakegurui. In this case, a character wig means that this wig was actually like pre-cut. It had like a bangs and had like the little layers, but it wasn't finished for wearing. You ready? Because I am. Let's jump. First, we start out with taking the wig out of the bag. Wigs usually comes with a thin net. This is very good to keep it from tangling in the plastic bag, so don't throw it away. Some also come with a paper padding for structural support in shipping, but I always throw it away. Then, I adjust elastics in the neck of the wig. Not all wigs have these, but I always prefer the models to do. This is very good if you have a smaller head, or maybe if you have accessories that will go on top of the wig that needs it to sit snug. If you have a wig stand, put it onto that. To make sure it doesn't slip off, I take some beaded pins to fasten a wig to the headstand. I usually place them at the ears and on top. If you have a shorter style or something that will have a ponytail, you can put the pins around the base of the neck and the forehead as well. If you don't have a wig head, you can style the wig on your own head or maybe let a family member help out. This wig is quite long and has several sections of hair. I usually start by combing through the wig to set the fibers where I want them later. If I try to cut a wig that is tangled, the chance is very high that it will be uneven. I section off parts of the hair to know which hair will be cut and not. I want a clean cut on this, so I spend some time to find the loose strands and section them. This means I take thin pieces of hair to split up parts and take them out of the way where I will be cutting later. When it comes to character wigs, they are not always perfectly sectioned, so you can take more hair that has been cut and section off for your own style. The same goes here with bangs, as bangs are usually longer than will fit every face is different, so I like to always do some basic stylings to those to make them match my own face. Feel free to use elastics to keep your hair in sections, and if you are cutting long pieces, you can save that hair for other projects. When it comes to combing a wig, always start from the bottom. If you start higher up and go straight down, the ends will become tangled. Now we are getting to the fun part. If the character style has straight hair, I like to iron the wig out. As the wig is plastic, I keep the iron to a max Celsius degree of 150. If I go higher, the strands will melt, so be careful and check what temperatures your wig can handle. Sellers are usually very good at writing this info, or put it down on the label. I take small sections and aid with a comb, as this will help the strands to not run away. I hold the iron all the way down, and since heat shapes the wig, I can blow on the strands to cool them down and make them set. Don't worry if you don't get it right away. It takes some practice, so have fun and keep at it. The bangs on this wig are extremely thick, so I adjust and see so the base of the wig is straight on the head. I then section the bangs as well to thin them out at a later point. Note that it's the base you want to measure by and not the hair, as it can be cut unevenly from the start. I then section off the parts again, like we did earlier, into smaller ones, and make sure the strands follow where I want them. I like to think of the top of the wig like a sun, and rays going out from the middle. The less they cross each other, the smoother the end result will be. When I am satisfied with the sectioning, it's time to start to cut it. I begin at the sides and use a hair scissor, which is a bit sharper than usual scissors. I have used normal kitchen scissors before, but it's much easier to make it look nice and rounded with this one. When cutting, remember to not just cut straight across, unless that is the look you are going for, with a certain style. Like, for example, Zenitsu from Kimetsu no Yaiba. Instead, use almost like a wheel turning motion. This will make a more natural curve to your cut, and can also be used to thin the hair into sections. I always watch how my hairdresser cuts my hair when I am there, and try to do that when I am cutting wigs. Sometimes it works. I start to cut away at the hair overlapping the face to get the shape I want. For this style, I want a rounded shape that leans forward, and I use a comb and my fingers to act like a guide. There are different ways to do this, so try out and see what feels best for you and the tools you have at hand. Here I cut very harsh, but cutting from the underside will help soften the harsh edges. After that, I iron once again to see if there is any wild stray hairs. For this you can also use a thinning scissor. It is only sharp on one side and has like a sharp comb on the other, which will make the hair you cut only cut above half of the strands. We are then returning to the sides and thinning out the bangs, to smooth out the look. And remember, it is a process and you don't have to rush. Take your time and go through it until you are satisfied. This is usually the part that takes the longest, but it's a very calming process for me. I like to use different things when cutting my wigs. For very straight lines, I like to use a hair trimmer, but you can also just use regular scissors. I turn the trimmer upside down and carefully take small sections, pressing lightly into the wig. Always take less than more, because you can always trim afterwards. It's harder when you cut it too short. I already know the bangs are too long, so I will adjust it more when I get it on my head, to make sure that I won't cut it shorter than I have to. After cutting a baseline, I take the rest of the bangs and lay them on top, then take the trimmer to remove the top layer, using the layer underneath as a guide. Make sure to comb through every now and then to prevent the hairs from crossing each other and giving you an uneven look. Finally, I take two small sections from the sides. These will help frame my face and eyes, which can also be seen on the reference picture. And as before, I use a circular motion to cut them, and cut from below to smooth them out. Now look at that, huh? We're getting somewhere. Here, I went for the back of the wig, and just trimmed the edges to get finished. I might not be very noticeable when I wear it, but it feels good to have the overall look done. Finally, I come to a point where I'll feel satisfied. And remember, it's okay to go back if you're not, and if you want to thin out or something, it's still there. It's not gonna run anywhere, so take your time until you are happy with it, because that is the most important part. So that is basically how I did when styling the wig for Yumeko Jabami. Different styles might require other forms of styling. If there's any style you would like to see how it's done or how you can actually make like a different kind, please comment with the style or the character you would like to see down in the comments below. For the full transformation, check out our next Downtime Cosplay video, where I will also do the makeup for the full finish. And also, please like, comment, subscribe, you know the whole shenanigans. This is GRIMALKIN, and I'll see you guys next time.